Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Oktaviani. My registration number is A1M218035. Okay, in this video, I can talk about quantitative research. The title is a descriptive study on students' problems in English teaching and learning on speaking skill at junior high school. Source of article is internet. The writer is Nurul Indriyawati. The year is 2029. Abstract is a descriptive study on students' problems in English teacher and learning on speaking skill at junior high school. The purpose of this study was to know what the students' problems in English teaching and learning on speaking skill and to know what are the solution of student problem in English teaching and learning on speaking skill. Research designed in this study was a descriptive survey with quantitative approach. The population and sample of this study were two classes at second years consisting 66 students and one English teacher at MTS Negeri Goa. The research instruments were questionnaire and interview, and the data analysis was using presentative formula. The results showed that students face speaking problems. Chapter 1 introduces the background of the study. Language is one the method of communication. Language has the component that constitute in there are many languages of the world. Whatever local language, national language, or international language. English is one of the international languages. Many countries use English as their national language. Therefore, most people in the world use English to communicate with people of other countries, which make English one of the international language. Okay. B. Problem statement. What are the student problems in English teaching and learning on speaking skill? The second is what are the solution of student problems in English teaching and learning on speaking skill. Okay. Objective of the study. The objective of the study is to know what the students' problem in English teaching and learning on speaking skill and to know what the solution of students' problem in English teaching and learning on speaking skill. The scope of the study focus on the problem in English teaching and learning on speaking skill in general that can be found into two elements in teaching English at junior high school. They are English teaching and learning process in the classroom and internal and external factor on problems of English teaching and learning. Chapter 2 Literature Review. A. Preferred research finding. Baraka 20 and 40 state that the problem faced by the teacher are management of class, different competence of the students, and lack of students' activity. That problem faced by the student are limit vocabulary, difficult or of pronunciation, difficult of structure, and factor nervous. The problem solving used by the teacher are the teacher gave advice and motivation about the importance of their activity in speaking class. The teacher create good relation between the teacher and the student. The teacher gave remedial to the student who go bad score in the test. The teacher accept the consolation of the students about the difficult matter. Swery 2014 state the low vocabulary mastering, limited of grammar knowledge and pronunciation, sense nervous fear of making mistake, lack of confidence, limit of practice, minimum opportunities, environment factor, mother tongue use dominantly, law of motivation are the kinds of students' problems in learning English speaking. There are some ways to solve the problem in English learning speaking, but from the students and the teacher side. More practice increase the vocabulary mastery, increase the motivation, use the instruction strategy, give opportunity to all students, keep to speak English, join the extra class of English are the ways to solve the kinds of problems in learning English speaking. Okay, B. Concept of problems in English teaching and learning. Definition of speaking. The definition of speaking or manipulation. According to Mead and Rubin, speaking is an interactive process in which an individual alternately takes the roles of speaker and listener, and which include both verbal and non-verbal components. Based on that statement, speaking ability involves the real communication between two, three, or more people that all of them are hearer and also speaker. The second is teaching and learning process. The definition of teaching and learning process, according to Oxford's dictionary, teaching means give lesson to somebody, give somebody knowledge or skill. According to Oxford's dictionary, learning means the acquisition of knowledge or skill through study, experience, or being taught. It can be concluded the teaching-learning process in an interaction process that the teacher gives knowledge to the student, while the students acquire their knowledge through being taught by the teacher. B. The component of teaching-learning process. The process of teaching-learning is not happened without exact systemization and accurate arrangement. The systemization is necessary expressly in determining the components that should be in the teaching-learning process. 3 is internal and external factor on problem in English teaching and learning. According Nadi Zochuna, there are two factors that affect in student problem in English learning. They are is internal factor. Internal factor is 1. Fear of mistakes, 2. anxiety, 3. shyness, 4. lack of confidence. B is external factor. The first is low motivation. The second is mother tongue use. 13 is lack of partner attention. And the last is learning media use. Is chapter 3 research method. Okay, the next is research design. The research concludes that descriptive research is designed to give information and a clear illustration about the social situation with the object of descriptive research. In this case, the point of descriptive research in college and accumulate the basis data in descriptive way, or its intent to make the descriptions about problems of English teaching and learning. In this research, the research was using descriptive research. In descriptive research, our research is exploring and describing with the purpose to explain and predict the phenomena based on the data acquired and the file. Population and sample. Population is all of the research on the subject. The population of the research is all the student of MTS Negeri Goa, while sample is part of the population, which is chosen to participate in the study. A sample of this research is 2 class for a second year. Total sample is 66 students and 1 English teacher. Kinds of data and data research. There are 2 kinds of data, primary and secondary. The primary data are the data that is collected directly from the subjects of research by using tools or measures or taken directly from the subjects. And the second is secondary data. Secondary data are the data collected from another research. It's not directly followed by research from the subjects of the research. That secondary data of this research or data to complement the primary data. The data are taken from documentation. Okay, the method and instrument or the research. The instrument that used in the research was pre-observation, questionnaire, and interview. The first is pre-observation. Research only observed the learning process of students in the classroom. The second instrument was a questionnaire. A questionnaire was distributed through class in the second years at MTS Negeri Goa. Questionnaire that used was a checklist questionnaire. The students only give checks to the columns and the provided. The last research instrument is review. In this research, the researcher used guided interview. It means that the interview prepared the state of questionnaire before conducts the interview. The aim of the interview is to get more valid data from the questionnaire and to get the information about what the teacher do to solve the student speaking problems. Data analysis. In applying descriptive quantitative technique, the research analyzes the ordinal data to find out about the percentage of the students speaking problems at MTS Negeri Goa. In order to analyze the data, the research used computer software of statistic analysis, which was Microsoft Excel, to calculate the result in the form of a percentage. For the analysis, the data from the interview, the research was made a summary of the data. After all the data, questionnaire, and interview are collected, the research was making a conclusion that related to bit theory. Chapter 4 Research Finding and Discussion. The results showed that students face speaking problems. Based on the results showed that 20% students often and 15% students sometimes feel fear of mistake. 16% students often and 47% students sometimes feel anxiety. 24% students often and 45 students sometimes feel shy. 13% students often and 36% students sometimes feel lack of confidence. Based on explanation, show that factor who give be influencer choose the student speaking problem is the mother tongue use. Based on the problems, the teacher have some ways to solve the speaking problems. For solving the problem of fear of mistake, anxiety, and lack of confidence and low motivation, the teacher builds student motivation, encourage and encourage students' self-confidence. In addition, the teacher also asks students to take English language course and training. The motivation students, the teacher always use English in the classroom from greeting to the end of the lesson. For learning media use, the teacher always to provide interest media for students, so students are more interested and excited when learning speaking. The last chapter is chapter 5, conclusion and suggestion. Okay, a conclusion. Based on the result of the study, the research concludes that there are two factors that influence student speaking problems at MTS Negeri Goa. The first is internal factor. These are fear of mistake, anxiety, something feels signs, lack of confidence. The second is external factor. There is low motivation, mother tongue use, lack of parents' attention, and the last is learning media use. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.